1991, I was a college senior at Georgia Southern University, and I was studying psychology. My father was a colonel in the United States military with Central Command for the quartermasters. At the time, he was in Riyadh, and he had been stationed with the 14th Quartermaster Reservist Unit. During that semester, Desert Storm started. February 25th, 1991, started off as just a regular old day for me. What that entailed was me getting up in the morning around 9 o'clock, not very early. And I had classes up until about noonish. And then I went out to lunch with my friends, as I always did, not really thinking anything about this. Then sometime around 1 or 2, I would get home. And so I sat down on the couch with my Diet Coke and turned on the TV, and it was time to watch my soap operas. And I watched One Life to Live, and then General Hospital came on. I'm watching my show, and first they have the thing that comes up in the music, and then Peter Jennings would come on. He was the anchor at ABC, and I swear he was there 24 hours a day doing this. Peter Jennings was talking about a Scud hit. Iraq shot out many of them. The Scud that had hit someplace where people lived, and it hit somewhere in Riyadh. So immediately piqued my interest when they said the name of the city. And at that point, you just kind of stop. And I was just like, it's okay. It's a very big city. We don't need to worry about this. But I couldn't quit watching it. So Peter Jennings continues to talk. And not only did it hit Riyadh, but it hit a particular area where American troops had been. So now I'm starting to get a little more worried. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know where my dad is. They never know everything all at once. So it's, yes, it did hit a U.S. building. And then, yes, there were people stationed in that building. And then it's, okay, people weren't stationed in that building. That was the barracks where they lived. And then it's, okay, they weren't out doing anything. They were actually in the building sleeping when it hit. And as they're saying this stuff, they're showing a building that looked like a warehouse. It is on fire. Half of it's not there anymore. There was ambulances, and there was a lot of people on the ground. And I remember the only thing that went through my head was, where does Dad sleep? And then the worst part came when they finally identified who those soldiers were. And it was the 14th Quartermaster Reserve Unit. And then you find yourself looking at faces. Just trying to see, okay, is he there? Is he helping? Or was he inside? Was he sleeping? And you don't say a word. You don't scream. You don't cry. You don't do anything. You just watch. And you know in the back of your head not to say what you're thinking. Then the phone rang. It was my mother. She had no idea that I had seen this on the news or that I had been watching it. You could tell she had been crying. And she starts off the conversation with, Becky, I just wanted to let you know that you're going to see some things on the news tonight. And I don't know how to explain the feeling. You almost go cold. And I was just waiting for her to say it. The thing that I had not said in my head. And the thing you have to know about my mother is she can drag on a story in true Southern style forever. And she's going on and on. And I'm not interrupting her because I don't want her to say it. And she finally gets to the end of talking about everything. And you can hear the distress in her voice. And she says, but I just wanted to let you know that your father's okay. And it took me a minute because that was not what I was expecting to hear after this long talk that she had been giving me that sounded like she was softening me up for the blow. And I yelled at her immediately, telling her that if she ever called me again with anything like that, and didn't start off with "your dad's okay," that I was gonna kill her. I couldn't believe she waited to the very end to tell me that. And I guess that was the stress reliever that we needed, because at that point in time we were both able to laugh and to cry about everything that had just happened.
This personal narrative was made in memory of Colonel Joseph T. Thomas.